Thank you for joining us today. I have with us a special guest, Scott Young. He's the Director of Marketing and Project Management at SECV. Hey, Scott, thanks for participating today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, today we're going to spend some time digging into how you guys at SECV, challenges that you've seen recently, what you're going to see around the road, and just really help us understand what you've taken away, some of the valuable lessons learned. But before we do that, if you can just help us a little quick background on who SECV is.
Sure. SECV is our acronym for Service Electric Cablevision. So we were founded in 1948. So, known as the very first cable operator. And we're based in Pennsylvania. Originally, Monterey City is where the first office was. We actually are split from the original Service Electric as the companies in the early 90s. Became their own entities. So we still operate in the eastern part of PA, up in some of the northern regions, so part of the Philadelphia market as well as the Wilkes-Barre DMA. We service residential customers, business customers. At this point, we have a little over 100,000 subscribers in 100 communities. So our product offerings range from, we just launched our 1.5 gig downstream product earlier this spring. Supported by our Plume home Wi-Fi. We're full IPTV, powered by TiVo, and most of the other features that come with all those products. So we've scaled pretty well over the last few years. So
no, it's helpful.
An overview.
Yeah, no, it's good. And maybe just a little bit about how you ended up in this role with SEC.
Absolutely. So I started my career as actually an IT consultant, but my undergrad was in marketing, so I've always had that marketing background. Became an IT project manager with Computer Sciences Corporation. I bounced over to the wireless world with Nextel, where I did a lot of product management, project management, and then over the years, kind of worked my way into the cable TV internet space back in 2010, so about 12 years now. So came over here, used both that background in IT as well as marketing, and I use that in my role even today. With mid-sized company, we kind of all wear multiple hats. So I'm always bouncing around between marketing, product management, project management. So it keeps my plate full for sure.
Yeah, people forget how versatile us marketing folks are.
That's
so
right.
It's good to see. We've been working with ETI has been working with you all for some time, and we've helped you through a couple of different challenges. Specifically, I want to talk about what you guys saw as some of your evolution and challenges around video technologies and services. So what is it that you guys were facing, and how would you characterize those?
We originally, for us on the TV side, we sort of knew what our roadmap was. We wanted to be, we wanted an IPTV solution. We looked at, at the future of TV and, QAM-based system, is, I'm not going to say that it's going away. I mean, it's quite a few years away. We still have a lot of customers that are still on ETAs, et cetera. But, we wanted, a solution that could get us, that full unified experience, full, at that point, it was, whole home DVR, getting into the mobile apps, things like that. So we looked at multiple vendors for that. Originally, we started with a legacy vendor, which for a couple of years, but then we sort of knew that we needed to be working with TiVo. We liked where they were going. We thought, getting us to the IP solution, just the features of that product. So we started out with, their MG2 product, which was at that time for a as hardware was sort of top of the line from a TiVo solution. So they were just rolling out their Gen 6 UI. So, we made that jump from our legacy whole home DVR to the TiVo DVR with ETI's help as well with that integrating into our billing system. So from there, though, as I mentioned, we wanted a full IP solution. So about 2 years ago, and it certainly took longer than that to get there. So standing up an IPTV system in conjunction to a QAM system certainly takes a lot of work. But we knew from a hardware perspective, it would help us reduce costs. So CP equipment would go down. We partnered with Evolution on that with their eStreamer, which is a box that, we think is the future for us, and it has been. It allows us to have, we actually branded it as TiVo Stream. It has full IP. All our channels are IP. The App Store is powered by Google, so any app that's available, you are, when you log in with Google, it's available to our customers on that box, which we, not having to change inputs, all of those factors were important in selecting the hardware as well as the vendor. So it's just so feature rich, where even the UI itself is, it learned about the customer. And TiVo's always been that way, I think, from day one when they came out, but even more so today with the recommendations, predictions, and it crosses everything from live TV to on demand to the OTT apps. So we knew for us to stay competitive in this market that we needed a solution like that. So we're happy with where it is, but we're also taking it other places. We're in the process of building out our bring your own device solution. So building to the customer's hardware. So once again, trying to reduce some of those costs for hardware and CPE equipment. That will allow us to, put that full app on Apple TV, other streaming devices like Fire Stick. So in the early phases of that and trying to figure out if that's a solution our customers want, which is half the battle sometimes, but we're marching towards that right now, which is on our roadmap. So we're still further to go there, but as we build out, we're starting to build out fiber to the home in areas, in greenfield areas as well as brownfield areas, and this is the solution we're putting in those homes. So it has to be an IP solution. So this either between the Evolution eStreamer box as well as the bring your own device, we think we have kind of a flavor for all our TV customers and potential TV customers.
Yeah, no, thanks for reviewing all that. And it sounds like it's been a multi-year, multi-technology approach. What are some of the lessons learned that jump out that some of our listeners can benefit from?
Sure. I mean, as I mentioned, this is not something you stand up in a few months. This is, everyone has to be pulling in the same direction. And for the first time for us is, when you're QAM based and you have your own head end, and if we have an issue with a channel, our engineers fix it, or our techs fix it, whoever's in the head end, and that's been kind of the biggest roadblock for us now that we're live. But even in the beginning, when you're trying to work with multiple vendors, we have vendors such as Vesma and Verimatrix and C-Change, and trying to get all those together, and ETI was a big part of that, helping us get connected to CSG. So those are all moving parts that took a while to get it stood up. And now that it's up in the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been trying to, one makes a change, does it impact the other? So it keeps our engineers, keeps their plates full for sure, in a different way. It's not them fixing the problem, they're more, managing it if there is a problem. So that's definitely one problem we had. I think TiVo's done a good job now. They recently acquired Mobi TV,
Okay.
and they're bringing a lot of that in-house. So that definitely would help for anyone that's, a new entrant. If we had to do it all over again, would we do it that way? I don't know. I mean, it's UI is a little different, but I think it's a great product. I think they've taken a good product and made it a lot better.
So what do you think is the one big thing that surprised you about TiVo and its reception from your subscribers? Anything?
I think just probably the amount of features and them uncovering the features. It has a couple things that stand out for me. There's a feature called Start Over Catch Up, where you can actually go back in time, and if you forgot to record an episode, you can go back in the guide and record it up to 3 days, as long as the programming contract permits that. Okay. As well as you can, let's say, instance, we're in the Philadelphia area, so an Eagles game that started, you missed the first half, you can actually click on and start it over again. So couple of really good features there. The other thing, what we liked about the IP solution is it's cloud DVR, so it's not like you're putting hardware in there and the recording stored on the piece of hardware. It's in the cloud, so you can turn on a DVR, you can turn off DVR. So another thing ETI helped us with that solution is, we went all those questions. Well, how long do we store it if they take away DVR, because they may want to add it back? So all things use cases we had to work with your team on to figure all that out. But another, a complaint we hear a lot from customers is if you upgrade your box, you lose your recording. So in this case, you do not. So store it in the cloud.
No, it's valuable. Thank you for that. And I'm sure people will be reaching out for some more tidbits there.
Sure.
I just want to switch topics now into more of the in-home devices, right? I know you guys have done a lot there and see that as pretty significant differentiator for you guys. So, kind of give us a backdrop of what kind of led you down to thinking about understanding kind of a more future-proofed device strategy, in-home device strategy.
Sure. I mean, yeah, always something we heard from our teams and our front end, customer service reps was, at what level of troubleshooting do we go here? Customers calling up, how do where do we get to? Are we helping them with, their gaming consoles, their printers, all of those devices in their home, and they're flying blind on the phone with this and can't see that or see what they're troubleshooting or even just, where everything's connected. So we knew we needed something, and we also knew that with more devices in customers' homes, we needed a solution that allowed those devices to connect in a way that the customer was getting the best connection based on where it was located. Initially, we looked at a mesh solution, which was from a provider that it worked for us. It allowed us to to add more extensions, and I would basically call them extenders in each of the the rooms in the home. But for us, we weren't able to. We wanted a solution that when we sold internet and we packaged it with a Wi-Fi device, we wanted that Wi-Fi device to be the piece in the home for a long time that would would adapt to the customer adding more devices, because we're seeing growth at, I think I read something a couple of weeks ago that there's almost 20, average user has close to 20 devices, 16 to 20 devices in the home. Right. And that's growing. It's, so we wanted something that, and those devices are getting more powerful. They're becoming Wi-Fi 6E devices. So we then looked at, the Plume solution, which is adaptive technology. And the adaptive technology, basically, instead of having these, static devices in the home that were extenders, it actually was adapting to how the user's devices were in the home. So it really responds to how the user uses those devices and connects to the right Plume device in there. So, and I'm a marketing product guy, and I'll tell you that side of it. There's way more in the background that's happening. I have to have one of the engineers fully explain, but to us, it was kind of a no-brainer, and we felt like that was also another product we needed to be deploying to our customers. And with that, came an app. With our legacy provider, we were in at 2 devices at $9.95 plus the app price, and it was getting customers close to $20 on the legacy platform we were on. Whereas with Plume, we were able to offer both Plume SuperPods, at least 2 minimum for $9.95, and the app was included. And we just felt like the app was way more robust. It has a lot of features. It allows the customer to, and the app itself turns your home into, even a motion sensor. So, they have the Guard app that you set all your securities. You can set securities for children, for, people, guest networks. It sets it up. It's very easy to set up and very easy to use. And then, you can set what I did in my house, and I think everyone does it differently, but with Sense, I have all my devices that don't really move in the house as motion sensors. So you can see, dogs moving. You can actually set it to dog friendly too. So a lot of really neat stuff in that product that we thought our customers would really enjoy as add-ons and make it a part of their everyday life. So, it was, for us, we've been extremely happy with Plume. Our customers like it. The form factor of it, it's sleek, it's easy to market. Our biggest issue lately has been, we were putting in close to 2,000 a month, and then supply chain issues after COVID made it challenging, but we're getting there. So, but still, the product sells itself.
Yeah, no, that's great background, and it kind of leads us to our next point. So, from lessons learned, you had some legacy experience of the legacy provider. You switched to a new one. COVID hits, supply chain hits. You've mentioned a couple of these things, but from your perspective, what are the key lessons learned that you've picked up with this relationship with Plume?
I mean, for us, they're a very agile company. So we found that, during COVID, this was a no-brainer for self-install. I mean, the app is so intuitive. When you set it up, you plug your SuperPod in, and it finds it on the app immediately. You name it, it's good to go. I mean, it's very easy self-install. So, we started doing, we dropped these off at customers' doors, or they would pick them up. And now we're starting to, we've been mailing them out to customers. It's an easy self-install candidate. And of course, a customer may have, depending on the size of their home, and our teams do a great job of sort of walking the customer through how many pods you need per home. And sometimes they want more, and they're easy to set up when you add it in. So You know, no real challenges with that, but certainly a lot of lessons learned. And I meant to point out, from a support perspective, it really does give our teams a viewpoint. Like, they have these on the front end and the back end, the customer can see the topology of their network, but on the back end, our reps can actually see what devices are connected. And if the customer, a lot of times it picks up the name of the device, so that helps, but you can rename them. And our CSR can say, hey, maybe move this pod this way, and that'll help grab those devices, and you'll have a better experience and get better range. Or, you know, our teams do such a great job and it helps reduce truck rolls. You know, we're not rolling a truck on that. And it really helps reduce costs from that perspective.
And what's the response from your subscribers? I mean, so there's self-install, and, you know, you're getting all this intel, and it's just kind of a sleeker, cooler product. Are you getting that feedback from your subscribers?
Absolutely. So we surveyed our customers a few months back, and with sort of an NPS, and we typically do 2 NPSs a year, but we net promoter scores, and we isolated Plume customers on this one. And, you know, our typical, you know, NPS score on internet, as most companies are similar, is in the low, 4, 5, 6, maybe lower. It depends on the month. Sometimes Plume customers were, you know, in the 26, 27 range. Wow. They're extremely satisfied with the product. And for them, they thought they were just taking a survey on internet. You know, that's how we phrased it, but we knew those customers were Plume customers. So yeah, very, very high NPS score on the product itself.
Yeah, no, it's great. So thank you for rolling back and thinking backwards on those challenges. You know, what are you guys thinking about coming up in the next couple of years? What are some of the top of the mind for y'all?
So right now we're in the process. We're working through, because we're never going to, you know, fiber to the home is great. It's going to take us a while to get there, build out our PON network. But, you know, we went back, we rebuilt our HFC plan. You know, we just completed a good portion of our mid-split project. So, you know, that's allowing us for more capacity on our HFC, on our network. So that was how we were able to get to our 1.5 gig speeds, get up to 85 megahertz. So we can now upload, our upload speeds are much higher, more reliable. There's more, you know, more spectrum there. So that was a big project for us, and it was a lot of work, a lot of contractors. So, and we're still working through that. We're done in most areas, but that was a big one. You know, I mentioned fiber to the home. So we're building out in Greenfield, we're building out in Brownfield, trying to stay competitive, because we have competitors coming from everywhere. You know, legacy competitors. We've got fixed wireless. We've got, you know, Elon Musk and his contingent coming with some of those solutions, Starlink. So, you know, we're kind of keeping an eye on that. There's a lot of government funding out there for that companies are applying for, and we spend, you know, our legal team spends and our management team spend a lot of time identifying, you know, censuses that, hey, we already have service here, and we're offering it up to, you know, over a gig service. So, you know, we try to protect ourselves in those areas, but once again, we can't always stop competitors from coming in and overbuilding us. And, you know, we're hoping to have the best product out there to compete.
Hey, do you see any challenges on the technological side? Like you mentioned BYOD, bring your own devices, but also Wi-Fi 6. Are you guys talking about that at all?
We are, yeah. We're looking at, you know, actually, so Plume's building out their Wi-Fi 6E device. We're testing that right now, and that's the future. I mean, you know, bigger, faster. Most new devices are built for 6E. So yeah, absolutely. You know, we're in the middle of testing that right now. So something we're moving towards right now. So, and then lastly, we're kind of looking at the mobile space. We feel like that's a space that, you know, you see some of the bigger operators in now. You know, it's bigger business than, you know, and there's definitely options out there for us to, you know, add another product and keep that within the customer base. We have the customer relationship. So we see a play there in wireless. You know, so we've been kind of down that path in the last year or so, as being getting in the mobile space.
Interesting. Look forward to hearing more about that. Scott, I want to appreciate taking the time to kind of unpack the video and in-home device challenges and lessons learned, and look forward to catching up in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks for meeting with me.
Thanks.
Take care.